There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them broth without any bread, then whipped them all soundly and put them to bed. Well, we're apparently cleaning a child abuser's house today. Hey folks, TheWargoulGamer here. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back, whichever it may be. And we're back with PowerWash Sim. Now I know this kind of seems like I'm probably phoning it in, but I've had a week. And it's not even over yet. So, in keeping with the trend of the storyteller series, let's just discuss the week here. If any of you have read my messages, we have well, now we do anyways, we have a new child. Like I said, I'm not going to discuss how many. More than one, less than 100. But there's just always a lot of drama around having kids in general. Especially at, the hospitals. So we thought he was going to get to come home today and yesterday, but obviously that's not the case. And you're in a place that's supposed to be for rest and healing and all that good stuff, but you have somebody coming by every hour pretty much to poke and prod you, so you don't get any rest. One of the nurses woke her up out of a dead sleep, asked her if she needed anything. And, I understand her doing their jobs, but really, she had been paging them, if she needed anything or whatever, but like, if she's supposed to get rest, then why are you bugging her, and why did you wake her up? So she's running on fumes, I'm running on fumes, and we're basically just waiting to bring our new child home. So that's what's been going on. So I just need a nice, easy gameplay session here today. Well, I say easy. This is kind of cranking up some of my anxiety here. So it's on that inner door frame there. You got the door. Aha! So this wasn't even my worst hospital story. I've got a few of those. What's your worst hospital story? Or one of them? Be it burn, broken finger, other broken appendages. What's happened to you that you don't like? Yeah, the green one seems to be working pretty good. Oh yeah. We may be able to get a majority of this on the ground. And apparently I'm getting spam text from Mother Hubbard. Look, old woman, you better stay in your cupboard. I'm not above breaking an old woman's hip if that mouth can write a check that the ass can't cash. You come at me, you better come correct. Oh yeah, so the worst, well, one of the worst things throughout this whole ordeal has been my allergies. I have the equivalent of, I don't know if you can tell it in my voice, because my voice is already like glass on a chalkboard anyway. But I have the equivalent of a summer cold because allergies. And so I can either be conscious for them or unconscious for them. Because, you know, Benadryl is a hell of a drug. Aha. I don't need your stinking ladder, but use the force. Ladder, whoa. Ladder sketch me out. Heights don't necessarily bug me, but ladders do. Swap out for the tactical extension here. You got the wrong number, lady. Oh, great. I guess I'm all on a party text here. And these are kids. Now we can get the front of this thing. Like, I hate getting water in my shoes, so I can only imagine what it must be like to get water inside this thing. Most of it still looks like hammered ass, but we're getting there. Don't you wish dirt just magically disappeared after you got about 80% of it? Like, clean 80% of your house and then the other just kind of magically cleans itself. Yeah, I'm sure it was Charlie. And what's really neat is, I guess, like, it's a little mini craze or whatever. about power washers, but one of the channels that I watch, Project Farm, did a power wash special. If you haven't seen him, go check him out. It's a really fun channel. And he definitely doesn't need a channel like mine to give him a plug or anything like that. It's just what I watch. It's kind of a, like I said, it's a really neat channel. I like watching things like that. I like science shows and stuff. Now, where is the dirt on this? Nah. And off I go. That is very satisfying to watch. Ugh, we need $2,000. Because, I mean, I can totally buy this one right now. But let's just go ahead and save up the money for the heavy duty. Let's go take a look at the jobs. Maybe we'll have a quick one for about $5. Well, we got a vintage car. This one's a easy 200 bucks. Although, if you have a classic car like this, I really do not recommend like power washing it. Because that could really deteriorate the value. And I don't say that lightly. And we're being videoed, alright? How's that for your video, perv? Anyway, the reason why I say, you know, don't take something like this kind of lightly. And here we have another car story. And another story for the video. if I don't decide to turn it into 2 videos. So I had this little black kind of turd of a car, and don't get me wrong, it's the story of they just didn't know what they had, and I'm pretty sure some bits and pieces were rushed. This was the car that I bought after the drunk red in the red light and I hit her. Just to kind of get around until I got the insurance and everything settled and got parts for the truck again. And you know, I had this thing for a good many years. But the original owner's son didn't put the engine in it right, so it messed up the transmission. So when one of our friends at the time decided to go buy it, he took a friend who knew a lot about the cars, and he said, "That's not rod knock, that's a transmission issue, but I've got a manual we can put in it." And so they bought the car. Well, he didn't end up paying the friend for the transmission and the labor, so I got the car for the price of the parts. And I threw some of my own money in it, fixed the timing, and the car ran like a scalded dog. It was an 88 Dodge Daytona Shelby Z. Now, the car had, you know, a lot of history, especially in the 80s with Dodge restructuring, Lee Iacocca, that whole mess. Look it up. It's a pretty interesting history read on one of the big 3 automakers. And I'm going to have to actually buy some cleaner. Anyway, there were cars that were badged Shelby, and then there were cars that came from the Shelby factory. Mine was one of the ones that came from the factory. I had done some research and looked around, and I kind of figured that it was, but you just never know with these sort of things. And it was confirmed when an ambulance hit me. They merged across 3 lanes of traffic and hit me. No lights, no nothing, and it's not like you couldn't miss this thing. I mean, it's ugly as sin. But the adjuster came, you know, they come out and they look at your car. They try to nitpick it and try to fix it on the cheap, but if it gets to a price point of the car's value, then that's when they total it. Well, of course, it was totaled, but this car, you know, as it's set in the condition that it was in and the pseudo restoration phase that it was in, because I was still trying to find an interior for it at the time because the old one had just kind of rotted away, T-top leak, and it came back as a genuine Shelby, and that car was worth like $3,000 cash as it sat. All because it had Carroll Shelby's name on it. That car was absolutely terrifying. It was loud, it was obnoxious. It would spit fire out the exhaust. And that was a normal function. It came from the factory turbocharged and making 14 pounds of boost. Now at 14 pounds of boost, that doubles engine volume. So you figure you've got a 2-liter and 14 pounds will turn it to a 4-liter. So technically this was a 2.2, so it'd be a 4.4. That's either a small V8 or a large V6. And a car that weighed about as much as a spitball and wouldn't stop spinning tires until you physically let off the gas or the tires pop. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm not going to get away with just washing this thing. I think I'm going to actually have to get some fluid. Oh, white walls. That's another one of those cars that I miss, just because it was just so much fun to drive. It didn't have a lot of the, well, it didn't have any electronic stuff like, you know, automatic transmission or a transmission controller, anything like that. It was just your feet and the gearbox. That was it. It got the best gas mileage out of any of my cars that I've ever had. It literally got 30 plus miles to the gallon. Or if you put your foot in it, it will literally get 30 gallons to the mile. Like, I have been on the interstate and opened it up, and you can physically watch the gas hand drop. And you had to be real careful in the car, because it would just get so, it would get its speed so fast that you would think you'd be doing, you know, 45, 50 mile an hour, and you would actually be a little bit past that. Where is the dirt on this tire? That's not how rust works either. You just can't power wash rust. And let me just step up on the hood here to get a better vantage point. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy some cleaner.
One eternity later.
Got it. camper. Which one is it? Is it this one? All right.